All Saints Church in Stamford, an early Gothic building. Stamford lay on the Great North Road at the fulcrum of the flow of wool and other produce from the north to the ports of East Anglia. It has the finest collection of medieval churches of any small town in England. Above, battlements enrich the 15th century aisles and clerestory. All Saints sits in the heart of the town. The church is on ground which rises to the north and therefore offers a south elevation with a lower tier of early Gothic blind arcading which virtually circles the entire building. Looking oddly out of place is this sundial, which was placed here in the year 2012, replacing an original which has been taken inside. But below you can see how to use it. This really is a handsome exterior. Rare 13th century arcading. Above the blind arcading are perpendicular aisle windows and then a clerestory and the tower rising behind. This blind arcading is beautifully executed. Possibly because of fear of collapse, the tower stands out beyond the north aisle and effectively is separate from the main body of the building. Once inside, we will see the early English, round about 1230, sumptuous three-bay south arcade. The south porch is sumptuous under an crocketed gable. After the War of the Roses, the brothers William and John Brown, merchants of the Staple of Calais, richly endowed the church in which their parents were buried. They rebuilt the aisles, clerestory and steeple in a comfortable perpendicular style, which seemed to lend itself well to Victorian restoration. With the bell tower floor now removed, we can see what the naughty people did with the graffiti when waiting to toll those bells. If you that do pretend to ring, you undertake a dangerous thing. If that a bell you overthrow, 2 pence must pay before you go. 1694. The merchant mark of this old Stamford family is on a shield above the lofty chancel arch. The 13th century arcades of nave and chancel have beautiful capitals to them. The Brown family brasses of the late 1400s are on the north aisle wall. The oldest of these brasses to the Brown family are from 1460, showing John Brown and his wife Marjorie, the woolpacks on which he stands being a symbol of his trade. A similar brass has the portraits of his son William, founder of Brown's Hospital, and his wife Margaret. A scroll above John says, "Christ me speed," which has been taken up as the motto of the Stamford Endowed Schools. Here we have some really fine silk work from the late 1600s. Unfortunately, with my camera, it's interspersed with stained glass reflections. Now, the interior of this church has been much restored, but still offers evidence of its past glory. The early Gothic south arcade has the richest of stiff leaf capitals. The reredos with rich crocketed and castellated canopies has a relief of the Last Supper. The screen is made of Mexican onyx. This tiny little red fragment is the only piece of medieval glass in the entire church. Look at this timbered chancel roof adorned with great gilded bosses and painted angels with outstretched golden wings. Font from the Perpendicular period is octagonal with shields in cusp panels. Thank you for watching the short film of All Saints Church in Stamford, Lincolnshire.